Hi guys, just getting those steps in. It's a beautiful evening. It was raining all day, but it's lovely out now. Busy enough day so far. Just getting out in a bit of nature always helps. Been uploading a few videos. Have to actually clear up space on my phone, so it's oh, look, there's my pals, the sheep. Oh, hello, black sheep right there. Hello. Hello friends. Bye. Bye. It's actually amazing because sometimes if I feel anxious on these walks, making a video helps. So I got the phone now. And I want to just make a video asking, do you struggle to be assertive? Me too, definitely. You know, to set your boundaries, and the sheep agree. They struggle to set boundaries. They're always breaking out of their boundaries. Yeah. Hope you can hear that. They really want to be in the video. All fueled up today, so maybe that doesn't help. Caffeinated. But yeah, do you ever struggle just to go, no, that's enough, you're not crossing my boundaries, no, that's enough? I really do. Not as much anymore, but you know, you can allow people in too much. That's the problem. You know, you can, if someone asks you for something and you have a hard time saying no, and being assertive. I think as Irish people as well, that's something we struggle with. When someone says gizzle end of that, how often do we do that ourselves? We're like, don't be scabby. I mean, it might be different depending on where you come from, because I mean, culture is going to play a huge part in your nature. You know, Jesus, even in Ireland, like, try ask a Cavan man for a euro, and see how far you get. That's the joke anyway. The joke about people further north of Dublin. Sun's just gone down there, but when I was doing compassion focused therapy, one thing we were looking at was compassion towards yourself, really, and that's something I didn't even consider. I gave an interesting example where, this actually really pissed me off, and it kind of ruined my outlook, I will say, because not the compassion focused therapy, but the example I'm going to give. So like, when you've been drinking especially, you can be more generous, and in Dublin city centre, I've talked about this before, you see a lot of poverty, and it's not nice to see. So if you're an empathetic person like me, and you see someone struggling, you want to help them, you throw them a few euro, Say I had a box of smokes on me as well, and I gave the lads a cigarette each and a bit of change, because why not? They fucking need it. And I was like, there you go, lads, trying to be nice. Gave them one each. And you know what your man says to me? He was like, oh, you go around to the ATM and get us more. You know? And he was like, are you for real, you know? I said, I'm just after giving you money. And he was like, ah, yeah, but you could give us a bit more. And I said to him, are you for fucking real? Do you want me to take that back? And he was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, be grateful for what you get. I said, I'm not made of money. Which I'm not. I hated the fact that I had to be like that, you know? But you can't just give to everyone. And it annoys me when, you see homeless people on the telly and it's like, everyone just walks by and ignores us. I don't. I never ignored them, but I've given money before, and you can't help everyone. You know, there's always going to be someone you miss out on. Because imagine that, because there's so many homeless people in Dublin in particular, if you were to give every homeless person you met even just €1, and then that's aside from the genuine ones, from the scammers, the con artists that were going around begging. And you know, anyone who's not blind knows that there's a lot of the Romanies that go around, the Romani gypsies that go around, and you know, they scam people in Dublin city centre. It's probably not just them, but it's well known that they operate gangs where they go around doing that, not just in Dublin but in a lot of places. And that's just a fact, you know. And they're always coming up, you know, almost patting you down as they get away, you know, fuck off. And if you give them, you know, a small bit of change, they'll be looking for loads. So when your man said, oh, you wouldn't just go get more out, you could give us more, I was like, no, I fucking can't. And obviously, like, you're not going to take money back that you've just given, but don't be taken for a fool, you know. And people see someone who's generous and they just keep taking from them. And there was a lad like that I used to see in Volunteer Shopping Centre when I worked there. Jason, lovely fella, he used to mind my bike for me when I'd go into the shop. Never asked me for anything. I'd just throw him a few quid and I'd get him some hot soup from the cafe I worked in. Because I was like, look, we're going to throw half of this out, may as well give it to him. He's a nice meal, you know. And he never, the thing that I liked about him was he never asked me for anything. Anyway, how we doing? Just talking to the sheep earlier. How are you keeping? You're looking a little thin, I have to say. Wish I was as thin as you. Anyway, see you later. After reading Noel Fitzpatrick's book, I talk to the animals myself even more than I should. And actually, no, why not? Nothing wrong with that. My mate Jason, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, so you know, I'd help him out because he never asked for anything. But you know, when you get a group of fellas and they'd be trying to get money off you or whatever, I'd always say no, because if you give anyone like that something, they'd be looking for more. And if you're not assertive and you just hand them something really quick, you know, sometimes it might be bumming a smoke coffee or something, and you're kind of like, ah, look, fair enough. Do you want one? I'll give it to you. You want some? I'll give it you. The Wellstone Raider. What a guy. But if you become known as someone who will always give something to somebody, then they'll keep taking it. They'll happily just keep taking it from you. You know, like their personal fucking piggy bank. More flies. So it's important to be able to communicate your boundaries. There's people will walk all over them otherwise. I think as an autistic or neurodiverse, borderline or emotionally unstable person with that BPD, EUPD diagnosis, while there's like violent behaviour and outbursts associated with it, what often doesn't get discussed, I think, is the people pleasing aspect of it, where you give too much, you know. So that could be a thing as well, you know, because you are terrified of rejection. So you're the one that always forks out for everything, or you're the odd one out, you know, not as confident as everybody else. So fuck off, flies. They just fly at you, right into your eyes and ears and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Don't go into my fucking mouth. Oh, they're fucking everywhere. This fella won't piss off now. Oh, he's adamant he's getting him. He's slapping myself in the face. I need that yoke Eddie Murphy had in, you know, Trading Places. Exchange student from Cameroon. Beef jerky. What a film. Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. I love that film. It's really good. And Jamie Lee Curtis as well. But yeah, I often made the mistake of thinking, back, he landed on the screen. Yeah, I made the mistake of thinking, okay, you're really fucking annoying. Ooh, land there. Got one of them anyway, there's more than one. I made the mistake before thinking that everybody just gives back, you know, so whatever you give, they give back. It's reciprocated, but it's not. There's a lot of dickheads out there who just keep taking and never give anything. And don't appreciate you. So my thing is, don't feel bad because you're a decent person, but feel bad maybe if you keep doing it. Just go, no, not doing it anymore, and, you know, cut them out. That's it, you know. Not wasting my time or energy with you anymore. And I get, like, look, when you're neurodiverse and you stand out and you haven't had a lot of friends your whole life, it's kind of very appealing to just keep people, you know, whether they're good or bad. You're desperate for friends and you're terrified of rejection, so I get it. I absolutely do. Believe me. And sometimes, you know, you'll just have to figure that out yourself. I could say it to you now and you'll be like, yeah, but they're my friends, and then you figure out, oh, look, they're not great for me, and I'm not great for them, so we'll just go our separate ways, or at least take a breather, you know. Some friends are good, but you do need a break at times. Here's my friends now, more of them. Hello, how you doing? You good? Do you need a break from me? Probably. Everybody does. Yeah. See you later. But yeah, it's important that you're not rude. You don't have to be a dickhead, but let people know early on. I think that's the best thing as well. Early on, look, I'm not going to tolerate this. If someone starts stepping on your boundaries, be assertive. Just go, look, don't appreciate what you said there, so cut it out, you know. Because what'll happen, and I've done this before, is you let it go, then you explode. And I've done that a lot of times. And then everybody's like, where's this coming from? Because you've tolerated it for so long that it seems like the reaction is way out of proportion. So set the boundaries early on and stick to them, you know. It'll save you a lot of hassle. Trust me on that one. I know from personal experience. And you don't always have to be the one who sorts everybody else's problems out. Sometimes just let people deal with their own shit. I've said it before, but people don't always want you to deal with their shit. Sometimes they want to deal with it themselves. I say, fair enough, let them at it. Rather than them giving you grief when you're only trying to help. Let them deal with it themselves. The rule that I live by now is, unless people ask for the help, I don't give it. I don't stick my nose in other people's business unless they ask. Because it'll only get you into trouble. You know, so mind yourself. That's something that we all seem to fail to do. A lot of us anyway. If you're anything like me, you actually need to look at, well, how well have I done for me? And a lot of times you've done pretty well, but you don't appreciate it. We all need to start. So yeah, set your boundaries early. You know, if people are trying to walk all over you, let them know you're not going to stand for it. Be confident. Don't let anyone walk all over you. Alright guys, that'll do it for this one. See you in the next one. Slán.